There's no if, whats, or buts about it. In this video, I am going to 100% convince you that Magomed Ankalaev will be Alex Pereira. Now, if you're a casual, you should watch this video. If you're someone on the fence, if you're someone who's going for Ankalaev but you're nervous because you don't know, if you're someone who's going for a Pereira but you're nervous you don't know, this video is for people with open mind, brother. You know, because people don't have open minds. I've noticed that. Like, I've noticed the poatards are set. They're not gonna fold because they believe one punch knockout. I've seen the Ankalaev fans, they're not gonna move, they ain't gonna budge either. Well, in this video, I'm really just gonna break it down. And when you break it down stylistically, like I said, people don't think of stuff stylistically. That's why when I made my video that counterarguments was gonna beat up Pereira before the fight for the first couple rounds and fatigue and get finished, people in the comments were saying, Ken, you're just a hater. He's gonna knock out Khalil in the first round. And I was like, you guys don't understand styles. And then when I got that prediction perfectly right, they're like, oh, you cooked. Just listen to the prediction and listen to what I say. I'm being fair to both parties here. But at the end of this video, you're going to 100% know that Magomed Ankalaev will be victorious UFC 313. So let's get into it. I break down everything from the striking to the wrestling, every little detail. I talk about important things. This is the video to watch, trust me. Starting off with Alex Pereira striking pros, because I need to show him respect, specifically what he does the best. So great low kick, his great low rear kick against orthodox fighters is his best weapon. Against orthodox fighters, that rear kick comes every time, it lands flush. And it gives his opponents a lot of trouble. They be stumbling and bumbling, man. They be stumbling and bumbling all over the place because it's a really hard landed kick. And he just doesn't telegraph it. Like, his rear kick is not really telegraphed. His lead kick is a little bit more telegraphed. We're going to get into that later. But as far as his rear kick goes, his low kick is what sets up everything. People think his left hand is his best weapon. Those are the casual audience. Those are people who watch TikTok edits, man. Yeah, man. Oh, Pereira, man. His left hook. His low kick set up everything against his orthodox opponents. That's his best weapon. Now, I do still have to highlight the powerful left hand. Now, he's never had a left hand knockout in the UFC that was a left hook and a finish. You know what I'm saying? Some of it started the finishing sequences, like against Israel Adesanya in UFC 281. Izzy with the left hook. Izzy hit it. He ate it. He kept moving. And then the whole sequence started from that left hook. You know what I'm saying? Sean Strickland did get dropped by a left hook. He didn't get knocked out cold, but he got dropped, and then Pereira followed up with like a jab finishing blow. Jamal Hill, of course, got dropped by the left hook, and then he followed up with some ground and pound. So at the end of the day, Pereira's left hook is not like, oh, I'm going to hit you and you're going to go to sleep. It's not an Ngannou power. Like, people might get that confused sometimes. It's really just like he sets up his finishing sequences with his powerful left hand. So when people say he has a puncher's chance against Ankalaev, and if they're trying to insinuate, he's going to one-puncher, man, he's a marauder, brother, dale. They don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know what they're saying, because he's not going to one-punch anyone. But it can start a finishing sequence, especially with Mark Goddard as ref. Like, we could talk about that a little bit later. But another big thing that I want to highlight that I feel like it's very, very impressive. He's a momentum fighter. Like, if he gets a momentum and a flow going, he starts doing that hop thing where he's walking you down and he has that rhythm going, like the fourth round against counterarguments, he's very hard to stop. Like, once he gets into flow state, you got to respect Pereira, because if you don't, he's going to put the beats on you like Dr. Dre, you know, hands on you, lots of bass. One of those beatings. So he's a really good momentum fighter. So I feel like people need to understand, if you let him like get comfortable and get cocky, he's going to put the beats on you really bad. So that's another thing. And that's his scary presence. I've talked about this before on my TikTok. It's just the way he stands. He has a very menacing stance. Like, he just almost like overwhelms his opponent. It overbears them. Against counterarguments, he'd hurt him sometimes, then just back off and just let Pereira walk him down, because he had too much respect. And I really feel like it starts with the presence. His stance, it might sound crazy, but like the way he stands and looms over his opponents, it makes them almost hesitant to engage in him. And if you have too much respect for him there, he's going to walk you down the whole fight and eventually break you like he did to Khalil. Even though Khalil had great moments, Khalil would have great moments, then back off because he respected him too much. I'm actually going to show you guys some of those stuff I'm talking about right now. As you can see here, look at the top of your screen. It's not the biggest. I know it's not the biggest, but look. You have moments against him. First of all, Pereira's very counterable. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. He lands a clean counter, boom, on Pereira's chin, right? And then, like, he backs up Pereira a little bit. And this is the important thing right here, bro. Look at this stuff. He hits Pereira to the body, boom, hits him flush in the body. Pereira was so hurt right now. He puts his arm down. He settles on the cage. And then Khalil just doesn't even engage. And it's not the first time. Remember with the head kick that dropped him? He dropped him with a head kick. He comes forward. And then he just lets Pereira, like, he just backs up after and lets Pereira walk him down. I really think it has something to do with, like, the intimidating stance. Like, I really don't know for sure what stems it. I do think it's his presence. And I do think it's, like, the over-respect some people will have for him, because his presence is just very overbearing. So that's another important thing I'm going to highlight for a striking pro for Alex Pereira. Now, moving on to the cons, bro, because there are some cons to talk about. He's open to straight punches. As you seen that replay I just showed, the counter straight left by counterarguments, He was a southpaw. He has good straight punches. That's why in my prediction video for Khalil Pereira, I was letting people know that Khalil has defense unlike Jamal and Yuri. So he's going to defend well, and he's going to counter him easy. He's very counterable. Like that showed he's very counterable, and he's open to straight punches. It's no secret. But this is no secret. Every single time he's been rocked or hurt, it's been from straight punches, countered. It just is what it is. You know? I don't know how people don't see this. It's kind of the way he stands as well. Like he kind of opens up his arms here, standing like this, He's asking to get straight punches. It's almost like he wants to get hit hard. It's almost like he wants to get hit with some of these straight punches. So it's very interesting. I just feel like that's an important thing to preface, an important thing to highlight, that dude's not hard to counter, and he's very susceptible to straight punches. And I say he struggles against southpaws with defense. Now, when I say with defense, people be like, didn't he knock out Jamal Hill? He only went against like 2 southpaws, like Jamal Hill and Khalil, as far as light heavyweight goes. Yeah, he went against some switch stance fighters like Izzy. Izzy was, people like to bring up like, yeah, he beat up all these southpaws. Izzy switch stance, every single time Izzy switch stance, he was like beating him up, hitting him up straight punches, landing stuff. People bring up the Izzy fight where he was up 3-1, where Izzy was out striking him the whole time, then got knocked out. You know, the Yuri fight. Yuri's a switch stance fighter. In the first fight, when Yuri was switching stances, he had a lot of success against Pereira, backing him up against cage, landing some shots. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Hill just has no footwork. So when people say he doesn't struggle with southpaws, look what he did to Jamal Hill. You knocked him out cold. Guys, have you seen Jamal Hill move? I'm starting to feel like people don't watch the fights. Like they just, he's southpaw. Well, Alex Pereira knocked out southpaw, so it means he's the best. Like no, watch the fight. Jamal Hill's footwork is probably the worst in light heavyweight. He moves like a platypus. I know he has no ACL, no Achilles, but why is he plodding around like that, dude? And on top of that, when he throws everything to his punches and leaves himself open for counters. Like, he has no defense. I'll give Pereira credit. He's really good at beating people with no defense, but I'm not surprised because Pereira's a good counter striker. If you have no defense, Pereira's going to beat you up. If you're Yuri Prochazka running in like a goofball, you're going to get hit. You know, if you're Jamal Hill plodding around with your stupid footwork, you're going to get caught. You know, Khalil Rountree was the first southpaw you went against who had a high guard and can move laterally. Jamal Hill does not know what lateral movement is. Yuri Prochazka does not know what a high guard is. He just runs in like a brain-dead idiot. Now, that's why Khalil Rountree had the success he had. Now, why did Khalil Rountree break? Because his endurance. He can't keep that pace of a fight for 25 minutes, which is what he's known for doing, breaking. He's known for starting well, then eventually starting to fatigue. Ankalaev's not, and we're going to get into that. We already seen Ankalaev go 5 rounds and get better as the fights continue. Like, that's not Ankalaev, but he struggles with southpaws against defense. Guess who he's going against this Saturday? A southpaw with defense. And then his striking stance leaves opening for takedowns. Because the way he stands, like, it's menacing, bro. It's a scary presence. But like how tall how upright he is, it's almost like he's asking to get taken down sometimes, which I feel like affects his balance in turn, because I feel like sometimes he has a balance problem that we're going to address as well later in this video, because there's just so much things to talk about with Pereira. But overall, his striking cons, it's like he's just really easy to hit with straight punches, very counterable, and struggles against southpaws who could defensively move and have good head movement and fucking lateral movement. That's what he struggles with. And then his stance is just not the best at going against people with takedowns. Now that we covered Alex Pereira's pros and cons, let's cover Ankalaev's pros. And just remember Pereira's cons when I'm covering this. Best straight punches in the UFC. Like, if we're being real, all his best weapon is his straight punch. We all know this. We all know the left hand he has at southpaw. He's a dangerous southpaw with the best straight punches. And if not the UFC, the best straight punches in light heavyweight are no argument. There's no debate about that. Cool, we already know that. Then he's the best counter striker at light heavyweight. The two best you could either say are Ankalaev or Pereira, but most of Pereira's finishes haven't come from him counterpunching for the most part. It kind of came from him coming in. Like Jamal Hill, he kind of jumped into left hook. Sean Strickland jumped into left hook. When he finished Izzy, he jumped into a left hook. You know, like Pereira does some good work when he's backing you up against the fence and like he's starting to put it on you. That's most of his finishes. Now, that's different from Ankalaev. If you look at most of Ankalaev's finishes in the UFC, it comes from him counterpunching. Now, I'm going to highlight some right now, just in case you don't watch UFC and you don't know who Ankalaev is. Okay, right above me right here, I'm going to highlight some significant counter striking on my second monitor of Ankalaev. So as you can see here, bro, boom, boom, boom. Every single time someone comes in, look how he slips this one. He slips down and lands the overhand. It's so quick you couldn't even see it. He lands the overhand right there. That's why the guy goes flat, and then he gets the finishing sequence. Everything he does really well is his counter punching. That's his best trait in my opinion. Right here, you can see in the slow motion. Overhand, and he ducks the other punch. He's ducking the punch as he's throwing the overhand and lands flush, and it puts the guy to sleep. His counter striking specifically is so underrated. And then here he catches the guy coming in and boom, uppercut. Puts the guy down. Boom. Ankalaev's counter-striking, dude, is something special that people don't really understand. I don't know why they don't get it yet. Clean one against Cutelaba was so perfect. Cutelaba's coming in, boom, boom. Gets dropped cleanly, and then the ground and pound of Ankalaev that we're going to talk about. This guy he could put someone to sleep with that ground and pound if he gets you hurt. But this is a better clip of it. Boom, boom. He's to sleep. How the speed of it too is just absurd, man. I'll be real. Boom, boom. Slow motion, perfect. Down the pipe. That's what Ankalaev does the best, his counter striking. So you guys got to remember he's a really good counter striker. And you also got to remember that someone like Alex Pereira is able to get counter strike, especially with that straight left, like Khalil did right here. Boom, right down the pipe. People could act like they don't know what I'm talking about. When I'm actually showing footage, it's pretty obvious for you to actually analyze it and assess what I'm talking about here. So yeah, this is important things I want to highlight. So like, yes, best counter striker at light heavyweight, hands down, in my opinion. You could agree or disagree. I don't really care. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying is factually true because I'm actually showing the evidence to support it. You know what I'm saying? Pereira does have good counter striking too. But like I said, most of Ankalaev's finishes actually stem from him countering someone coming in irresponsibly. And you know Pereira is always on that menacing forward pressure and doesn't know when to back up. Compared to someone like Alex Pereira who kind of gets his finishes from jumping into that left hook. And then also that slick head movement. As you can see in that clip I just showed, half of his punches, like he's already slipping before when he's already throwing. Dude's really good. And they said he has a takedown threat as well. When you have the takedown threat, it opens up striking, bro. Like if you just have that, Pereira having that in his head, if he fakes something, it'll be so easy for him to land on top against Alex Pereira. This is his striking pros. Now, if you realize best straight punches, dangerous southpaw counter striker, and then you realize that, you're gonna realize why he's gonna have a lot of significant advantages over someone like Pereira who struggles with certain things. This is his cons though. Struggles with shin to shin low kicks. Has nothing to do with boxing, his cons, but it's more like the low kicks. Against Jan Blachowicz was the most significant thing you could point this out because Jan Blachowicz hit him with some dialed low kicks. I ain't gonna lie. But the thing about Jan Blachowicz is he goes shin to shin, and he was throwing from his rear kick. When you throw from your rear kick against a southpaw opponent, you're just more likely to go shin to shin. Even when Jan Blachowicz was fighting Alex Pereira, he was going shin to shin with Alex to a point where Alex wasn't really throwing low kicks anymore, which is why Alex didn't hurt Jan Blachowicz at all. Like in that whole fight, it was really just them striking, trading, and then Jan would take him down, just control him, and that was all. Like Alex Pereira is known for hurting people, but Jan Blachowicz being defensively sound and like taking away Alex's best weapon by making him go shin to shin with him, it frustrated Alex to a point where he couldn't use all his weapons to the best. And then I said he may overextend at times, but this is not going to be a problem against Pereira, in my opinion, because if he's overextending against Pereira, he could jump into a single leg and he can mix things up. I've even seen him overextend and do a spinning elbow. His striking is really dynamic and people don't understand. But I will say it is still a con that we can address. He overextends his left hand at times. Now, what does this mean? Every Alex flaw is Ank's strengths. Let me go back to Alex's cons for a second. Open to straight punches, very counterable, and struggles against defensively sound southpaws. His pros: best straight punches, dangerous southpaw, best counter striker. So you struggle with southpaws with defense. You're going against a southpaw with defense. You're very counterable, going against the best counter striker in the UFC. You're open to straight punches, going against the guy with the best straights in the UFC. Is this coincidental? And when I say stuff like I think he's a better striker, people get mad, but I don't care. I don't want you to agree with me. If you're too hard-headed to accept what I'm saying here is true in reality, you don't have to. I don't care. Just have your own opinion. But after watching this, I'm telling you right now, 99% of people who are on the fence are gonna definitely go Ankalaev. Just saying. But that's not it. So every Alex flaw is Ank's strength. So everything he struggles with, Ank does really well. Stylistic matchup made in hell. This is what this is. Alex doesn't throw rear kicks for his southpaws. He throws lead leg. Now, when I brought up the Jan Blachowicz point, and I brought up one of Ankalaev's cons being he struggles with shin to shin low kicks. When you go lead leg low kick against a southpaw, you're mostly gonna hit him on his calf, which is not as painful as a shin to shin kick. Is it painful? So, like, it will accumulate, but shin to shin, it hurts both the fighter throwing it and the fighter taking it, which is why Pereira doesn't really like doing that, which is why he throws lead kicks when he goes against southpaw opponents. And one thing about Alex, when he throws the lead kick, he's always out of position. Like, he throws it, he misses, his leg crosses over against his other leg, he's open straight punches. So it wouldn't be good if he's throwing lead kicks and then Ankalaev sliding out the way and following up, because it's just going to get this guy knocked out pretty badly. And then I said Ank checked every Rakic low kick and counter him. People like to bring up the Blachowicz fight because it showed a time where, like, kind of Ankalaev was getting hit with low kicks, guys that were shin to shin, like I said, and he was reacting to it badly because he wasn't checking them initially, and then later in the fight he tried to check them, but it was too painful for him because he was getting hit already. Now against Rakic, he checked all those kicks. He checked them. He was eating out, like, he just did great work against Rakic, and he would counter Rakic after checking him, and then Rakic started running away the whole fight. Just watch the footage if you don't believe me. He ran away after getting hit with some straight punches because his low kicks were too telegraphed. And then I said Ank, overall I just think Ank has a striking advantage, especially with the takedown threat. Now, when he's going to be faking takedowns and stuff and then going up top, it's going to open up a lot of more moments, you know. So I know when I say Ank has a striking advantage, people who don't watch UFC or don't actually watch film like I do, because I study film before I make my predictions. Other people just say, no, this guy's a kickboxer, he's going to have the way better striking advantage. I'm telling you, bro, wait for this fight. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I don't want to fully, like, I know this is going to convince a lot of people who are on the fence, But like I know the whole hardcore poatards, no matter what, oh you just hate him, bro. That's what they're gonna say in the comments because they have nothing logical to say, so they're gonna resort to saying I just hate him. Cool, that's a great opinion. I love you. Keep that opinion. We'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah, I do believe as a striking advantage, especially with that takedown threat, it's just gonna open up way more opportunities. Now, let's talk about Ank's wrestling pros. 100% takedowns in the UFC, 1-for-1. Took down Izzy. This guy's dangerous, man. This guy's wrestling is dale, brother. You get me real bad, man. Yeah, you gotta highlight this, man. You gotta highlight this 1-for-1 in the UFC, which means if he shoots a takedown against Ankalaev, statistically he's 100%, so it could land. It very well could land. All right, let's talk about the cons. Taken down by every single opponent who's attempted to take him down. That's very concerning. Michailidis took him down. Bruno Silva took him down. Israel Adesanya took him doan. Jan Blachowicz took him down. Yuri Prochazka took him down. Every single fighter who attempted to take him down took him down. The fighters who didn't take him down, Jamal Hill, who shot 0. Khalil Ranchi, who shot 0. Well, Khalil Ranchi shot 0, but he caught Pereira's leg kick at the start of the fight and threw him on the ground, unfortunately. So yeah, Jamal Hill and Sean Strickland, they both didn't attempt it. Neither did Khalil, but Khalil just got unlucky and got a takedown. So yeah, that's a significant thing. And then he has horrible balance. A lot of his takedowns sometimes, which I'm gonna show some of it because I don't want to just talk. I'm gonna show some of his poor takedown attempts that were just kind of questionable to me. Like not takedown attempts, takedown defense. So this is every single opponent taking him down. Starting with Michailidis, the guy who he made his debut against, just pulls him down, takes him down pretty easily. Then next up, we're gonna get Bruno Silva, who just shoots a telegraph takedown and just says, "I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna take you down." Really easily take him down. What else? Israel Adesanya catching his low kick, body locking him, spinning him down, taking him down. He also controlled him for like the rest of this round. And this round had like 3 minutes left. Kind of embarrassing. Getting controlled by Izzy. Jan Blachowicz just making him use balance, picking up a single leg, not even sweeping his leg, doing nothing. And then Pereira just literally falling over for lack of balance. I love Pereira, man. And then he eats a 1-2 down by Jan when Jan jumps on him. And then lastly was him going for his guillotine attempt that he loves going for some reason and getting picked off his feet and then slammed by Yuri. So every single person who attempted to take down Alex Pereira took him down. Yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, horrible balance. That's like half of these times he's kind of just getting out strength, but the other times it's just horrible balance. They force him to use balance. He's hopping on one leg. He can't really balance, so he falls on the ground. Easily controlled, like I said, controlled by Israel Adesanya, who's not the best guy to get controlled with on the ground, kind of embarrassing. And then Jan Blachowicz controlled him. Attempts guillotines before defending underhooks. If you look at the Jan Blachowicz first takedown, he had him in the very first round. Jan Blachowicz shot like in the first 15 seconds, which after he said he wasn't cool. He had Jan in the guillotine for about like 25 seconds, and Jan was just like chilling there. And then he's like, "Okay, you done?" And then once he burned out his arms, Jan just picked him up and slammed him on the ground. Same with Yuri Prochazka. He had Yuri Prochazka in the guillotine, like, "Let go of me, man. I'm gonna submit you." And then Yuri just lifts him up and slams him on the ground. So he attempts guillotines before he defends underhooks. I don't know what Glover teaches him. I think Glover, being a BJJ practitioner, kind of makes him be dumb sometimes because instead of defending underhooks, this guy is just saying, "Let me try to jump a guillotine." A little bit weird to me, and it's just bad coaching. But listen, whatever. Listen, sure. Attempted against Ankalaev, maybe you might get it. Yeah, so yeah, just attempts guillotines before defending underhooks, which is his biggest weakness. It's kind of embarrassing. And then I just said he's lost when he's on his back. Like I seen him on his back against Jan Blachowicz, and he was just throwing he's lifting up his leg and just slamming him. He was in full guard, right? He was getting controlled in full guard, and he was just lifting up his like leg and just slamming it on Jan's back, not really trying to get up. Izzy controlled him. He just looked guy's really just clueless. I feel bad. Like if he gets on his back against Ankalaev, that ground and pound that you've seen Ankalaev finishing these guys with, he's gonna smash his face in. So yeah, his cons are very, very, very hard to deal with, especially if you're gonna be going against Ankalaev. You're gonna have to pray that these cons are all patched up, but I doubt it. Ank's wrestling pros, he mauled Jan and Krivlov, who are better grapplers than Alex. Of course, Jan actually grappled against Alex and succeeded extremely well. He's physically stronger than 99% of his division. I'm saying this because I've seen him in the grappling exchanges with Jan, who I think is pretty strong. Krivlov, he looks pretty built. Rakic, who I really think is actually built like a tank. And when Rakic shot the takedown on Ank, and Ank stuffed it and just reversed him, threw him against the fence in the clinch. He's really strong. I feel like people don't understand, like, strength's a big deal. I know, like, we don't really think about strength objectively, but I feel like in the wrestling exchanges and the clinching exchanges, strength is a real big deal. So, like, when he's doing shit like that and throwing people against the fence and just out clinching them, I'm like, bro, this guy's clinching. Like, he's just strong as shit. Great ground and pound. We've seen him in ground and pound situations against Jan. We've seen him against Krivlov. We've seen him against the guy he finished when the Kutalaba, when he's just landing those ground and pound shots. He's very vicious. He landed like about 20 significant strikes on the ground against Jan Blachowicz in that 5th round when he's tired already. Think about that. Imagine him fresh against fucking Pereira, dropping him and then just fucking ground and pounding him early. Crazy. I already highlighted strong in the clinch because he's extremely strong in the clinch, and that's what it is. And then striking threat opens up wrestling, which it sounds crazy to say that. It's usually the wrestling threat opens up striking. But since he's such a good striker, the second that Pereira is like, okay, we're striking, you're out striking me, cool. Watch this, I'm going to turn up my striking. You get taken down. Boom. Now you're taken down because you thought it was a striking match. He has a lot of moving parts for Pereira to be like aware of, which I feel like is important to highlight here. Now we can talk about his cons. 31% takedown defense, which is something everyone says, everything highlights, like, oh, bro, Ank's not a wrestler, man. Ank's not a wrestler. He has a 31% fucking wrestling completion rate. He needs to have good completion rate to take down Pereira. Everyone who brings up this stat is pretty much trying to say and insinuate that Ankalaev won't be able to take down Pereira because you need to be a good wrestler to take down Pereira. Yeah, the common, you know how they are. You know how the poatards are. You gotta be a great wrestler to wrestle Pereira, man. He only has a 31% takedown defense. He's an offense. He's not a wrestler. No one thinks he's a wrestler. We just know that he can wrestle Pereira. But what does this mean? The wrestling comparison. Ank will take him down whenever he wants. That's what this means. Dude, but Kenny, 31% takedown defense. Bro, Adesanya's taking him down, guys. Yeri's taking him down. All these strikers like Jan Blachowicz taking him down and controlling him. Someone who got controlled and taken out by Ank. You know what I'm saying? Michailidis taking him down. Bruno Silva, like a 5'9" middleweight. Come on, dude. All taking him down. And he rehydrates like 220 against Bruno Silva and still was getting taken out by him. It's kind of embarrassing. Because like I said, balance and all this stuff, it's why he's getting taken down by these guys. And I said Pereira's guillotine attempts will be to his demise like it was against Jan and Yeri. He's going to try to go for a guillotine against Ankalaev against the fence. Ankalaev's going to pick him up, slam him. And like, it'll be different when Ank has top control on you compared to if Yeri has top control on you. Guarantee you. Watch the difference in ground and pound. Same with Jan. Jan's sometimes okay with taking you down and kind of just laying on you. Ankalaev's not. So like, when he gets taken down and lifted off his feet and slammed by Ankalaev, watch how brutal this ground and pound is going to be. And he just better not be going for these guillotine attempts. I know he's going to do it. I know he's going to do it. But, brother, listen, brother. If you can listen to one thing Kenny Okoye says, brother, do not go for the guillotine. I'm trying to help you. I hope you're watching this video, Pereira. You know what I'm saying? Do not go for the guillotine. He's going to lift you up your feet and slam you on your head. He'll be stronger and more controlling in the clinch, of course. And then the ground and pound will be brutal. Do not go for a guillotine attempt, end up on your back, or you are going to get brutalized beyond like extent. No one's going to recognize your face after this fight. I guarantee you. Don't be an idiot. Please, please, Pereira. Don't make Ankalaev get on top of you because he's going to change your face. If this fight gets to full mount, the fight's over. Just need to say that because 100%. But there's other things that we need to highlight. These are important things to note. Ank can wrestle for 25 minutes and he could do it with one leg. He doesn't need to have two legs. And Jan Blachowicz showed us that. Jan Blachowicz and shin to shin, something Pereira doesn't do. And he took away that leg. And he was still able to take down and control Jan Blachowicz, who's a better wrestler and grappler than Alex Pereira. So even the poetard saying, but Kenny, even though he's checking against Rakic, what if he checks 0 kicks? You're right. If he checks no kicks against Alex Pereira and his leg is compromised, he could still take down Pereira. That's what it showed in the Ankalaev fight. That's what it showed in the Jan Blachowicz Ankalaev fight. So I know people want to, even if you want to preface that, cool. If he takes away his front leg, we've seen that he can still wrestle. So even Pereira's best weapon, if it works, it's not going to even be enough to help him win because he can still wrestle with one leg. Now, like I said earlier, Pereira missing the lead kick will leave him open to straight. So when he's missing this lead kick, his legs are crossing over each other and he's out of position. Ank is one of those people that he's always on the pressure. So if he's pressuring you, you throw a lead kick, he gets out the way and then he comes forward again and then you're out of position. You're getting a straight right to the cheekbone, boy. You going to sleep. So that's another important thing that I feel like people need to understand. And as I said, Pereira's only been taken down by strikers. So like I did bring up the con of like his 31% takedown defense, but you guys got to realize he's only been taken down by strikers. Ankalaev's unironically the best wrestler he's ever won against, and probably the best wrestler at light heavyweight. Light heavyweight doesn't wrestle since Jailton Almeida went up to heavyweight. Let's be real. So he's gonna get taken down by Ankalaev. Don't use the 31% takedown thing to make yourself feel better because it's not the case. And then lastly, I'm actually gonna show some clips of this too. Ank's takedown fakes will open up straight. So like, you know how when I'll show you guys clips of like Yuri Prochazka like faking these takedowns and then Pereira squaring up straight and looking like he wants to eat a straight punch, but Yuri didn't have the IQ to go for it. But I know Ankalaev will, and I'm gonna show you a clip on what I'm talking about right now. So I want you guys to look right here. So see how Yuri fakes it. You can see Yuri kind of faked it and try to go high, but Pereira saw it coming. I'm gonna show you moments where Pereira doesn't see it coming. Like right here, this is important. He fakes it here, and look at Pereira. Look how look at this. This is a really bad movement. Like, he was so scared of the takedown of Yuri Prochazka, by the way, that he leans his legs back, brings his face forward. Do you know what Ankalaev's going to do to you in this position? I'm actually going to show you what Ankalaev's going to do to you in this position. This is the best representation of it right here. When he fakes the takedown right here, boom. And then we see now Pereira responded with Yuri when he sits up like this. And this is where Ankalaev can respond with the uppercut into the straight punch down the pipe. Perfecto, brother. Dale, brother. As you can see, look at Pereira when he squared up here after the fake takedown attempt. Boom, right there. And then Yuri falls up. Yuri doesn't really, look how Yuri throws it. It's different from the way Ankalaev's going to throw it. If Ankalaev fakes like that, goes uppercut and straight, while Pereira's doing this, he's getting chin, 100% guaranteed. So as long as you guys know that, because I actually see that being the finishing sequence. I really do. So I want you guys to see and acknowledge that. So when it happens, just know I called it in this video. Moving on, though, to the poatard's biggest argument. So, like, I found what fans said, what Guru said, what Lucas said. This is what they said. Fans said, Ink not a wrestler, so he won't wrestle. Robotic. I'm hoping Ink doesn't wrestle, so I'm gonna manifest he doesn't wrestle. Corny shit to say. And then Guru literally said this in his video. I watched his prediction for this 2 fight. He said Ink said he won't wrestle and lying's haram. What an idiot. Like, this guy's an idiot. And like, on top of all that, you guys realize Ankalaev has said on tweets that he's going to wrestle for 25 minutes. Be ready for that. But Guru wants to nitpick and cherry pick that. Oh, there's a time before they signed the contract where Ankalaev said he doesn't need to wrestle. So if he says he doesn't need to wrestle, it's haram to lie. So you better wrestle. Corny. These guys, that's how you know these guys don't believe what they're saying, man. God, it's so crazy. Then Lucas said when Ink throws straight punches, his hands are down, which is the most common sense thing ever. Yeah, if you throw a punch, your hands are down. Like, I see what he was trying to do, and he would nitpick, like, pictures of, like, Ankalaev throwing a punch and his guard being down, but I could do that with any UFC fighter on the planet Earth. I could look at any footage of them throwing a punch and their guard being down, because you can't throw a punch and keep your hand out here at the same time, because how's that going to work? You know what I'm trying to say? So, horrible argument by Lucas. And in all these videos, I seen Guru say, yeah, but I can also see Ankalaev laying a straight punch down the middle. And then Lucas said, I can only see Ankalaev knocking out Pereira, though, and wrestle fucking him. They're all fence sitting, because they actually know Ankalaev's going to win, but after they get the prediction wrong, they'd be like, see, I knew it. Just like Bedtime does. Shout out Bedtime, bro. You a fence sitter too. All these other creators are fence sitting because they're scared of, like, they want to appeal to the popular opinion and say what's popular and stuff. And then you have people like me who say the truth, who break down stuff from a stylistic point of view, from both point of views. And then people get mad at me because I'm saying something that doesn't appeal to the audience. You're hating the wrong person. You're hating the only truthful person on this app. I'm not the enemy here. I'm just the truth speaker. And then other fans say 31% takedown defense. No way he'll take down Alex. We don't even got to talk about that. We already know. We already addressed that early on. Now, how will this fight likely go? I think Ink starts off striking. I feel like he starts off striking, but Pereira's going to always be wary of the takedown. And I said he'll eventually put the takedown threat in Pereira's head early. This might mean, I don't even think he's going to complete some of the takedowns. I think he actually just might engage in Pereira just to clinch, if that makes sense, and like just have it in Pereira's head, not even go for takedowns, maybe out, like throw some shoulder shrugs in the clinch, just make it uncomfortable for him. And then by the second round or the third round, I think that's when he's gonna fake the takedown, like I showed you guys in the Nina Drama video and the Yuri Prochazka Pereira video. He's gonna fake the takedown, and that's when he's gonna land that KO blow, where it's gonna be an uppercut into the straight or just a straight punch, and that's where he's gonna get knocked out. Either that, or, of course, wrestle fuck for 25 minutes. When I say wrestle fuck, I mean he's going to mix in everything. MMA, boxing, then he clinches him, then takes him down, mauls him, does whatever he wants, controls him for the whole fight. That's what's going to happen. Pereira's only shot is puncher's chance. That's what everyone who's picking Pereira's not picking him by points, because they know if it goes the distance, Ankalaev's going to wrestle fuck him, mix up MMA and beat him up. You know what I'm saying? They're really just saying, I think Pereira's going to land a one-punch knockout blow. But, like, if you go back to my opinion, my take on his left hook, he does finish it. It starts finishing sequences, but he doesn't really have that one-punch power. Ankalaev has been rocked by Thiago Santos, and people like to use it as a negative. What happened after that? He went straight to grappling and clinching, and he survived. He took Thiago Santos' best punch and survived. Fucking Jan Blachowicz got chinned by Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos has power, bro. The fact that Ink took a flush shot, recovered well, shows you what you need to know about him. So, like I said, if you're only, like, I know Pereira's fans are only banking on one-shot blows, while me, I'm banking on common sense and stylistic matchups. So, like I said, everyone on the fence, I bet if you're on the fence in this video, you probably switch your pick to Ink, which is, listen, I'm just doing my job. You know, I just want people to be informed about what this fight really is. You know what I'm saying? And if Pereira does go in there and one punch him in 10 seconds, cool, he did it. You know, or does a flying Ben Askren knee, who cares? But push comes to shove, Ankalaev on paper, it's like Islam Moicano. I knew Islam was gonna win. Could Moicano have done something sporadic? Cool. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, and I'm gonna be the dickhead for the whole week. Oh, you hate Pereira, you this, that, and the third. I understand the reception I'm gonna get for saying the truth, because I'm different from other content creators. I don't fence sit. I don't say, oh, I don't know about this. I just say what I really believe, and I stand 10 toes on it. And if that makes me hated, I'm gonna keep being hated for the rest of my YouTube career. That's what I think, brother. But let me know what you guys think about this fight down below after this video. That's it for me, man, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.